Yours is chapstick and mine is, and anyone see my stapler?
You see my stapler?
You see my stapler?
The convention center air, they must have an air dryer because every time we have an event there, my lips get dried out and cracked. So
It kind of feels like you were probably outside, and it was just the air conditioner.
it was something, yeah, because every time, and then by the end of Friday night, I'm like, wow, my lips hurt really bad.
You're thinking, you're like, oh, am I really thirsty or what's going on here? But
I drink a lot of water, trust me.
meanwhile, I'm wondering, like, I can never find a pin in this studio, but I sure can find every step. There's like 2 other staplers in here, and I'm like, so why do we have a bunch of staplers but not one pin to write anything down?
It's the stapler elf. He's bringing staplers and trading them for pens.
If you could see in the studio right now, I have staplers and highlighters. Like, we have an abundance of highlighters in here, and I'm like, did we just give up and like, I'll just write with a highlighter. We'll
Just
call it
start
good.
signing stuff with highlighter.
I guess so. I'm like, hey, this important document needs my signature. Here's a bright green highlighter
Start
to
using
go with it.
crayons.
Yeah, no, here you go, FCC. It's my signature in a bright green highlighter.
I want to make sure you saw it.
That just, I mean, come on. I mean, you should be able to see this from space. That's just so you know we're serious about ours. Welcome everybody to Zia Comic Weekly. Of course, the bringer of the cons is here with us after going through back and forth. He has finally made it out the end of another con. Everybody, how did it go? At Anime El Paso.
Went well. Went really well. Because usually we on new events we wait till the week after when we run all the numbers, talk to the accountant to see if it's financially feasible to do another one. And this is an exclusive for you guys. We're going to do another one. It worked well.
Oh, that is awesome. I did see photos from the ramen eating contest. So
Ooh.
you got to break that down for us.
Yeah, well, anime events are a little different. I mean, they're similar to cons, but they're a little different as well. And one of the things we did, like you saw, was the spicy ramen eating contest. A lot of other places will they give you like 3 minutes and how many bowls of ramen you can eat within that time frame. And I didn't want to overtax the kitchen staff, so I just told them, "Hey, just make me." They're going to do one bowl, and it's whoever eats it the fastest. But I want it to be the spiciest bowl of ramen you have ever made. And it was pretty spicy, dude. It was I mean, just smelling it, the hairs on my nose singed. They said it was flavorful, but it was just really spicy.
Yeah, and that was definitely the one thing we said. We didn't want them to think that they could just down it in one go and be okay.
Well, the guy finished it pretty quick. It took him about a minute and a half. He paid for it later because it was a vendor, and I saw him sitting in his booth, and he was hurting.
You don't walk away from something like that, especially if the heat content, and if you're trying to go as fast as possible in the heat, it does not go well. And at that point, Tums becomes your best friend, or Pepsi AC.
Oh yeah, that was like I said, it was our first year. We didn't know how well the ramen contest would go over, and we could only put 9 people on the stage. Yeah. So we had to limit it to 9 people. There were a lot more people that wanted to do it. So we're thinking next year we're going to have multiple rounds of 9 people, and then take like the top 3 from each round, have a second round, and narrow that until we narrow it down to the final 9, and then have something different like instead of them having to eat 12 bowls of ramen to get there, the last one we could alternate them, like have wasabi sushi, just all kinds of spicy stuff. like a wasabi sushi log.
Folks, and it's not avocado, by the way. I think many of us have learned that in this area. Like, oh, look, they added a little bit of avocado on there. Nope.
No. It'll clear your sinuses big time.
Yeah. I think everybody at one point in this region has been through that. Like, oh, what is this grease? Oh, it's probably just a little bit of avocado. And nope, it's not.
So yeah, that's the plans. Maybe for next year we're gonna. It went over well, so we're gonna change it up a little bit, get more people into the contest for the spicy ramen.
That's awesome. And yeah, and I was just thinking, man, if you make it to the finals, how much pain would you be in by the time you make it to the finals? You're like, oh, I can't do this. And then now you're gonna throw wasabi into the mix.
You earned that bowl. And the trophy was I don't know if you saw the ramen bowl, the ones that have the little divot that you lay the chopsticks across.
Yeah.
And, we had it had somebody put the writing on there and bake it in. Anime El Paso ramen eating contest champion 2023.
Dude, that is awesome.
So yeah,
But
people liked it. So that's one thing we're going to keep. The Idol show, we're going to keep it. We got to think of a better name.
uh-huh.
We didn't realize there is also an anime called Idol, and people thought it was a Q&A panel for that anime.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
no.
It's like, no, we're about to sing our hearts out.
Yeah. Well, most of what he was singing, they would lip sync and dance. So I don't have to understand it. I looked at him like, yeah, that's kind of cute, but man, people were loving that.
Oh man, that's awesome. Go-to karaoke song for you.
I don't know. I barely can speak, man. You don't want to hear me sing. It
For
probably
me,
Bismarcky.
there you go. That is a classic right
You
there. For me, it's
know what I
Warren G
mean?
Regulators.
Yeah. Something I can sing off tune and still sound like the original.
Yeah.
That's why I
And,
chose Bismarcky.
and that's why it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you're gonna need to really turn the music up loud so you don't hear me, and then we'll be okay.
Is he singing bad or is he just trying to imitate
I think
Bismarcky?
he's doing a really good impression of him, though. It's amazing. He's really getting into it. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, he's just bad. Oh man, that's awesome though, man. I mean, a successful event. I mean, you guys have definitely got something going on with the, especially for a lot of the folks like we mentioned last week. The way that just in these last couple of years, anime has been huge, but just like right now, I would just say it's like gone a whole nother level, and to the point that I mean, it definitely is a lifestyle, and this area wants something like that too.
Yeah, and even though we dropped big bucks on advertising, we were still getting people coming in on Sunday going, "Oh, I didn't hear about it until today."
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to take a couple years till we get that word of mouth built up, so that when it happens, they tell all their friends, and it just like that's what happened with El Paso Comic Con. It took a couple years, then people got used to it, and they started looking for it.
Yeah. And I mean, especially you guys were right at the perfect time where, you got your school ending, they're looking for something to do for summer vacation. And yeah, man. So, kudos to you guys, man. It looked awesome though. Seeing the pictures of the ramen eating contest, I was like, okay.
Oof,
I was
there's
like,
a video out there too.
I wanted to know. I was like, okay, how bad was the heat? Because I was really curious as to like, okay, did they really go as hot as they could, or you
Only
know,
two of the only two people finished the bowl
any
because we told them,
pukers?
"Hey, you guys can go ahead and finish if you want." They're like, "Oh no, no, we're done."
We're finished. Any pukers?
No, but we did have buckets behind them, little trash bags.
I saw
Waiting,
the buckets getting distributed.
had the EMT on hand. I mean,
Yeah,
we made them sign waivers. The convention center's like, we can't let you guys have this ramen unless you sign waivers.
yeah. By the way, guys, I do wanna let you know, and just for any type of, like, things like this, yeah, you have to sign a waiver because you never know, man. Something can go like, there's a spice or something that just yeah.
Yeah, like I said, as soon as they pulled that ladle up the first time, I could the heat, the spice heat smell just hit me, and my eyes watered. I'm like, oh god, guys.
Man, so what you're telling me is that's what I need for my sinuses. If I ever have sinuses, just and be good to
Oh
go.
yeah, every one of those people up on stage like, oh, I love spicy food. I was like, well, they would get like two bites in, and then you saw them sit up straight. We had bread and milk on the table for them. It was that hot. We were prepared. Everybody had two
Oh.
rolls and a glass of milk because we knew it was hot.
I was gonna say, once you go for the milk with anything hot, I mean, we've done the hot wings challenge here. Once you add that milk element, it just it like I mean, yes, it takes the heat away, but then after that, it just doesn't taste the same.
No, no, it
So
doesn't.
yeah, if you once you go for the milk, just you might as well just tap out. You might as well count yourself out because you are not, and your stomach is definitely not gonna feel too happy about that.
Well, originally we were gonna. The rule was gonna be if you touched the bread or milk, then that was you tapping out. And then we saw how spicy they made it. I'm like, oh no. If you want the bread and milk, by all means, do it. You're still in. We just,
You had mercy on them.
yeah, yeah.
You
I felt bad.
You showed them mercy. Because I honestly, at that point, if I would have said, "If you would touch that, you're pretty much eliminated." But if it was that hot, yeah, man,
It really was.
you were saving them.
Yeah, well, the venue, the chef at the convention center, they were getting into it more than we were. They're like, "Oh, you got to do. Look, we're gonna put this in it. We're gonna do that." And they brought out. They were getting all hyped about it. So I was like, "Wow, this is great." When the convention center is really hyped about the event.
Yeah, because they were like, "Oh my god, we're gonna have to add this to a menu later. We're gonna have to see if it works."
And they did theme the concessions also, which was really cool. Uh,
I was at
did you see
the
the pictures?
cafe. I saw
Yeah,
I saw the pictures. Talk about that, man.
they really they started at El Paso Comic Con where they would theme the concessions area. They themed it for superheroes for El Paso. This one it was very Asian themed. You saw a bunch of the like cherry blossom trees, and
Yeah.
they had it really decked out. And they even changed some of the menu items. They had Korean hot wings. They had bao dumplings. They had ramen on the menu, and the concessions. I was really happy, man. They really went all out, and people loved it rather than just having hot dogs and nachos like every other convention.
Yeah, no, and I think that also adds that extra element, especially for these, when we have these events, is that when you add those extra touches, like, I mean, because you got to think how many people were watching the ramen contest and now want ramen right after. I mean, it's not going to be the spicy ramen, but you're like, I kind of want ramen now.
Yeah, yeah. I think the concessions there they did well over the weekend, and people loved how they had it themed and set up, and that they had options other than normal con food.
That's awesome. By the way, it's your fault if I have ramen tonight. 'Cause
You
I
can't go
kid you
wrong with
not,
ramen.
as much as we're talking about, I almost had it last night, and then right now as we're talking about, it's like, I think this is a sign. I think this is what me and my son are having for dinner tonight. We're having ramen. Probably not any spicy for him, but we'll
Yeah, I mean, even if you just buy the top ramen, we have some of that in the pantry for emergency quick stuff. You just add stuff to it, man, and it's really good.
it
Throw in an
there's
egg and a little bit of meat, some bacon. Yeah, it's good.
dude, okay. I'm getting hungry. So of course you guys wrapped up, of course, this one. And then I have already seen, by the way, guys, y'all need to stay up to date on social media with them because you guys have a lot of stuff going on. It almost seems like, oh my gosh, like you guys are not sleeping. And then you guys are getting ready
But,
for Cruises Comic Con.
well, we had the Alamogordo opening before that, July
That's
7th.
that's right. So let's talk Alamogordo first because that is just a few weeks away.
Yeah, July 7th. We did that to coincide with their Alamogordo Downtown Nights. And I've been talking to the the Main Street coordinator right before I logged into here. They shut down the 900 block, and they have like all the stores stay open until 8 p.m. They're bringing in food trucks. There's going to be some cars, 5 to 8 cars from the local car club showing off. The bar down there, I think, is going to have outside seating, like a little beer garden area. We're going to have probably they're going to have a costume contest. We're going to sponsor it, and some of the business down there are going to chip in prizings, and they're theming the whole night for superhero because it's also our grand opening.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll be there. If you show up in costume, you'll be able to get 3 of the free comic book day comics we have left over in the store there, and it's just going to be a great time, man. It's going to be like a little party on the night on New York Avenue, 900 block.
It's almost like it was meant to happen, man, because to open and to that capacity and in style and just the community coming out and be able to see that you guys are in Alamogordo finally, that's gonna be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and oh, I almost forgot. We're bringing in Raymond Gay, comic book artist out of El Paso. He's done covers for Spawn, Ninja Turtles, and a bunch of independent comics. He'll be there as well doing some signings. So it's going to be a party.
Yeah, I mean, you guys definitely deserve that, especially because, like I tell you, man, we've been talking about Alamogordo for a while, and we've mentioned you from being out there, the many trips you've taken out there to now it's finally going to be there, and we have the official date of when this is happening. So yeah, and it's gonna be awesome. Alamogordo, y'all need to go out there, man, because that's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just hoping the nerd community out there supports it. I think they will. There's really nothing else nerdy for them since Hastings closed, so we're trying to fill that void.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then, of course, here in Cruces, I mean, you guys are business as usual. From the board games to anything that you guys need this summer. There's something going on at Zia Comics, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. From Friday Night Magic to the board game night on Saturday, new comics on Wednesday. Uh, Come in and buy yourself a trade paperback and go sit in your air conditioned house and read it because it is nasty hot out there lately.
It, it, it really is. And then I see even downtown they have those big tents downtown.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why they did that, but they did. Um, I haven't seen too many people use it, but
Yeah.
it's there.
I mean, just people need to start looking for that shade, man. And I just know in the next couple of weeks we're going to see even hotter temperatures. So do what Troy said. Go get your favorite comic and go in your air
Yeah.
conditioning
Buy a game, go home, sit in the air conditioning, and play it.
there you go. Doesn't you can't beat that. And then, of course, then we move on to Las Cruces Comic Con, and you guys start gearing up for Las Cruces Comic Con.
Yeah, actually, we have pretty much the guest list done for that one. I'm waiting for one contract to come back. Um, what I like to do is I'll set up all the guest things, the guest pages, and then I'll link them on from the guest page, but not say anything for a couple of days just to see who's paying attention.
Mhm.
Nobody pays attention. They saw I changed the header and they're like, "Oh, are these the guests you're bringing in?" I'm like, "Oh, you didn't read the guest page, did you?"
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, so you start noticing changes, and it's like, so start
Yeah,
watch now. People are gonna go start looking as they go. Oh yeah, wait,
they
they go start
should.
checking.
That's the idea. Yeah, I want them to actively keep looking for that stuff. That's why I'm kind of sneaking it in.
And that's why, we mentioned guys, because especially when, I know, like even last year when we talk about vendors, when we talk about, getting your VIPs, if you don't get on that stuff early, it sells out and then you're just
Yeah, it
you're
was like
yeah, you're out.
I told them at AnimeCon, it's not a selling point. VIP is going to sell out and weekends are going to sell out, and they
Yeah.
both did. We had people show up at the door on Saturday like, "Oh, let's get a weekend pass." I was like, You and a bunch of other people, man, they sold out."
Yeah,
So they ended up
you're
buying a Saturday and a Sunday because there were no weekends left.
yeah, yeah, it's like you should have took advantage when they told you to. So
Yep.
once we, find out about, Las Cruces, I mean, this is your time to start like, hey, get your VIPs and get ready because it will go fast.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, you can go to the Crucis website and see the guests. I mean, you probably remember Neverending Story, the movie.
Yes, I do. I do.
We're bringing in the guy who played Atreyu and probably the girl who played the princess, the child princess.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's going to be a big nostalgia hit right there.
Dude, see, that's the best part about them because you bring these nostalgia characters that someone from us, dude, that's like our childhood, man.
Oh yeah, it's that movie hit every emotion I think for
It
people.
did. Like, I should not be, like, crying at that age, like, "Why am I so like, I'm
If
that
you
thanks
don't
to."
cry in the swamp of sadness, there's something wrong with you, man. When the horse goes under,
uh,
that
can't.
wrecked me.
I can't. It's you know what? That could be that what leads to a lot of issues with movies and crying. I don't know if it's I'm getting older, I'm just getting more emotional with these movies, and don't let there be any pets that may
Oh,
get hurt because then that's it.
well, these movies you can watch them kill like hundreds and hundreds of people. One animal gets hurt, and it's like you're all up in arms.
Like, why would you do that to the dog? I was only too crying at John Wick when they killed the dog,
Oh,
but
I
that was, man.
I still hate Alfie Allen because of that.
I was like, "I know it's a movie, but just know you
Yeah.
got a lot of heat headed your way." Oh, man. So, yeah, so make sure you guys, get ready for this. Before you know it, it'll be here, but, I mean, man, you guys are busy. No need for a vacation for you right now, though. So
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
you're good.
Yeah. Just not having an event, that's on a vacation right there for a week.
Oh man. So let's dive into some of the things that we've been seeing over the last couple of days. Secret Invasion is definitely getting more and more hype, especially with more and more content that we be seeing floating around. I believe next week or is it beginning of July that we're gonna see the series kick off?
I
But
thought it was
I think
July. I
it's
could be.
July. I can't remember. I have my June and July's thrown off at this point because
Too much cool stuff coming out. I can't keep track.
there really is, man, and, Secret Invasion's coming out. Samuel L. Jackson looks like a certified badass in this.
Yeah, well, if you know anything about Nick Fury, that character is totally badass, and
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson is probably one of the better people to pull that off.
Yeah, so I think this is the type of TV series that I think, people will look forward to, and I think it gives us enough to then get prepared for Loki in November, so maybe not over flooding with, these Marvel TV shows. I think this is kind of on the pace. I think they're bringing it back, and I mean, we do know that Disney is cutting back a lot on what they're producing.
Yeah, I mean, you're still going, like you said, you're getting Secret Invasion. You're going to get Ahsoka on the Star Wars side,
Yes.
but they are pulling back quite a bit because they've there for a while. They flooded the market, man. You couldn't keep up.
I mean, they had to make that Disney Plus worth it though at the time.
Oh, well, even with them pulling back, I think it's going to be worth it.
I was, doing, we were watching, we were on a Spider-Man binge over the weekend and watching the old Spider. By the way, I can't believe that Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man back in the day. I mean, it's so crazy now seeing him, in the older version, but I'm like, "Wow, was it was this was our choice for Spider-Man, okay," but it works.
Yeah, for that time, it worked.
Yeah. So, but when you go back and look at it, you're like, "Wow, this was really kinda cheesy if you really think about it," but, like, when he was the cool guy, when he was
Oh, the was it Spider-Man 3? Yeah.
yeah, when he was Venom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I was
blocked
like
that from my mind. Thank
I
you.
was like, "Man, you cannot make Toby look any cooler than he does right now." I
Oh,
say that
no.
sarcastically.
Yeah, you really could.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, wow," but no, I mean, there's just so much great content on there that you're just like, "Okay," and then now getting Secret Invasion, we'll get some more Star Wars content. I mean, I even see they have stuff for children too. They even have a Jedi cartoon, so they're
Yeah.
not hurting in the, Star Wars and Marvel, content.
Yeah, they're leaning a lot into the younger audience now. You get the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur little cartoon.
Yeah,
Honestly, Ms. Marvel was really geared toward the younger crowd too. So they understand that it's not just people our age, because we're going to die off. So they
yeah.
got to bring some people in from the back and backfill.
Eventually, we're gonna be part of the blimp and just disappear. And that's it. No, it's great, man, and, like I said, Samuel L. Jackson, man, just looks like a badass in this, and
Well,
I think it's if he
it's a great
doesn't throw
story.
one I mean, we all want him to say one F word at least, because I mean, that's Samuel L. Jackson, but we know he's not gonna say it.
Well, at the end of the one movie, he was starting to, and they cut the scene right there.
Yeah. So, I think a
So
lot of us were hoping for it, like, "Come on, man, just one."
just
Daredevil
listen.
says it,
Yeah, you're allowed so many of them, right? Before you up the rating.
right? It's like, "Come on, just at the end of the movie, we'll be fine." How about the post credits? By then, mostly parents take their kids out the theater, so no? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a great storyline, though. Secret Invasion. The older comics, there's so many good storylines that they can rely on. I'm surprised they waited till now to start using them.
Yeah, I just, and then I'm also wondering to what capacity does this writer strike really delay a lot of their process as far as what they want to put? Because, like you said, there is a lot of stories, man. There's just not just your basics, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. There's just so many other stories out there that I really think people would gravitate to. That I just we could see them in a TV show or some capacity. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I think they're starting to realize these older ones. Some of the newer stories are kind of rehashes of old ones, and
Yeah.
a lot of the newer stories just don't hold the same gravitas as the older ones.
So we'll wait and see what Disney does next. I'm excited with that one, and then like we said, we get Loki season 2 this year, and then on the DC side of things, this weekend, The Flash comes out. So you're getting The Flash, and a lot of great reviews so far. Some things that I've seen, they said not too impressive on the digital effects, but they said storyline though, pretty good.
That's another old storyline that really is great. That's going to be their opportunity to reset the whole DC universe if they play it right.
Yeah, I mean, and, I think maybe getting rid of Ezra Miller definitely is gonna be at the top of the mind. I think a lot of people are
Yep.
hoping for that. So, I don't know. I'm just I and staying off of TikTok over the next couple days because 'cause I'm sure we're gonna see some different Batmans from our past show up, or at least referenced of those Batmans.
And that, well, we already know, Keaton's going to be there, but are they bringing Affleck? Are they going to bring any of the other guys who played it? Maybe Clooney.
Yeah. I mean, I'm rooting for a Christian Bale return.
See,
I'm
I'm rooting for Clooney just so I can see the bat nipples again.
That's all he came out just with the just he doesn't even need the mask, just the suit and just pointing left at
Just show that, yeah, from the chess piece. You're like, yep, I know who
right. It's like, "Oh, hey, look, they got George in there." They don't even have to show his face, we just know it's him.
that is.
Oh man. So yeah,
Marvel's
that
Mr.
one,
Freeze.
there's
Chill
another one.
out.
You can bring Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
Danny DeVito.
Tommy Lee.
There you go. I mean, there's so many. I forget Tommy Lee Jones was in that. I forgot he was
He hated
Two-Face.
that role, so he probably won't come back.
Yeah, he was that. He's kind of up there in age. I don't think he's gonna want to have to put the makeup on again. So, DC, I think, is headed in the right direction. It was announced yesterday that once they're completed with the Superman project, dun, 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 he's back, folks. Peacemaker 2 will be get underway. But first, they have to wrap up. James Gunn is going to wrap up with what is it, Supreme Superman or
I can't remember the title, but
I
yeah,
can't
I want
say.
to see who did they ever announce who he picked?
He didn't announce yet. So,
Mm,
but they did make the announcement that once that project was completed, that then they would go back to the Peacemaker side of things and get that underway. Which I'm sure that also helps with the other projects John Cena's been doing lately. Yeah, he's too busy being family, so he's
yeah.
gotta figure that out. But no, Peacemaker's coming back. You got this Flash movie, and then there's so many other things that they're setting themselves up for. I think James Gunn is definitely starting to make his mark already.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's proven he can do superhero movies, even using obscure characters and make them popular. So, I mean, he put Starro in the last Suicide Squad. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, and if you compare the two Suicide Squads, because the first one was on TV the other day watching it, and they were going for that dark tone.
Yep.
Obviously, there's always for some reason it's always lightning wherever they're at. Uh, and it was very dark compared to this one where it was more lighthearted. And it was like, yes, you get your jabs, funny moments. John Cena definitely was a person that stood out in that. You can tell the different tones between what they're doing to what James Gunn wants to do moving forward. And I kind of like that.
People don't want to be depressed, man. They go to
Oh
the
man.
movies to escape from the reality, not to be reminded of it.
Yeah, and I just, I think this also kind of just revives the superhero storyline because after a while, man, it can get tiring. I mean, we get so many superhero movies that you're like, okay, think this is going to get a little tiring. So if they can give us something fresh and something new, it could be helpful.
That's why Nolan bowed out after three. He's like, "Yeah, I think people are done with this dark and brooding."
Yeah, but they were all good though. I mean, they were. I really liked them. I mean, the third one was okay.
Yeah, but would you want to see a fourth one with the
No, I
same
mean,
dark storyline?
that's kind of why I'll be honest. I'm a little, tired of Batman too. I mean, I still haven't watched the Twilight Batman yet.
I don't think
So
I've seen that one either. Yeah.
I haven't. Was it Robert Pattinson? Is that? Yeah, Robert Pattinson.
Oh.
I was
I,
gonna
I thought
I'm
you meant
calling.
that was the title of the thing, Twilight
No,
Batman.
I'm calling him Twilight Batman.
Team Edward. Yeah,
Team Edward. Yeah, I haven't seen Edward's Batman. So
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
yeah, but it's just how many times can you tell that story though?
Well, obviously they keep trying.
If it keeps making millions, what do I know, right?
Yeah, they need to do the Justice League like the original, not the original, but the Justice League from the comics when they had Guy Gardner and Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. Because Batman actually had a couple comedic moments during that run. It was really good.
Yeah. See, Blue Beetle's another one I'm ecstatic for. That one's gonna be amazing, but
There's
it is
no El
getting a lot
Paso
of
in it though.
yeah, that's getting a lot of slack from people, especially because the comic is based on the region and looks like they can make no reference to El Paso whatsoever.
Yeah, they jumped. They're using like the Blue Beetle graduation series where he had already moved away from El Paso.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
don't know. That one's gonna be
yeah.
still though, man. I mean, that kid is gonna be a star from Cobra Kai. I
Miguel.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
gonna be
he's good.
yeah, I could see him and for some reason, man, I mean, from this superhero movie, I could see him really dive into comedy afterwards for some reason. I think he'll have the comedic chops, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he showed it in Cobra Kai. He had a couple moments there with work, with Johnny when they had that comedic back and forth. So yeah, I think he could do it.
Yeah. I just like I said, DC's for some reason, DC's just in the right spot right now, man. they have movies that we're excited to go see.
I think, well, like you said, I think James Gunn has a lot to do with that, though. They know what they're going to get with him, and
Yeah.
I think that's why people are getting excited. They're going to see a movie that's enjoyable.
Yeah. And it just, I mean, ultimately, we're going to spend, especially with the way the movie prices have been going up and just the overall experience, is that if you're getting your fans to go see this, you definitely want to make it worth it for them.
Yeah, exact. Popcorn's expensive.
I know, man. And I can only put so many things, so many snacks in my wife's backpack to take in. So
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
no, I think a lot of
Get
us
your
do.
big bag lady purse.
I'm gonna just confess it right now. I'm not gonna call it any names. I have a family member of mine that
Wife.
one time it wasn't the wife. It's let's just say it's a parent. Snuck in Chinese food one time into a movie theater.
But like bowls and silverware and everything.
No, like, they went to the takeout. I mean, because they'll have them in the movie theater, I mean, at the malls, right?
Right.
They went, got a combo plate, put it in, went, not realizing that, of course, the food is going to smell.
Well, my usually the thing that's telling on me is I take one of these, and as soon as you pop that top,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
everybody
waiting for,
knows.
like, waiting for an explosion, okay, go ahead and do
Right.
it, now you're good.
And my wife tried to sneak in some yoga berry one time,
See,
and
but that's
they searched her purse like, "Oh, you can't bring that here." So I bought it at concessions. They're like, "We don't sell yoga berry at concessions."
they don't know that? Hey, they don't know that? What made so what, they have the menu on them, so security happens to know the full
You don't
menu?
know. You don't know.
No, but my oh, I almost said this. I'll just say it was my mom, dude. My mom did that. She took a combo plate into a movie, and I'm like, "Mom, what are you doing?"
I
Like,
have much
it's
respect for that.
a combo plate, and then on top of that, she's like, "Oh, yeah, I think they forgot my sweet and sour sauce." I'm like, "What, do you wanna go get it?
Can you run out and get it for me?
Can you run out? Can you go downstairs?" Because this was at a movie theater in Tucson. "You go downstairs, go to the food court, get my sweet and sour, and come back?" Yeah, no, I ain't doing all that. Oh my
No,
gosh.
but pass me an egg roll.
Yes, can I have where's the soy sauce? Oh, man. So, of course, we got The Flash that's coming out. Some news about Avatar, just running through the headlines really quick. Avatar looks like it's getting delayed. Looks like the series will officially wrap up in 2031. So
Oh,
we'll have another one. Yeah, it's gonna be some years until we get all the series of Avatar. And by the way, the new Avatar is on Disney Plus as well as Max, which that is on my list to watch this weekend.
it wasn't. I watched it on Disney the other day. It
Did you?
wasn't bad, but they need to hire a better editor. There was a lot of stuff they could have cut out that just made it longer than it needed to be.
So then why were they constantly saying that, like, this movie is 18 hours? It's like, "Wait, you
It
can't
was a,
cut this back?"
it was 3 hours and some long. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. I think just a little over three, but there was a lot of filler in there. I'm like, you could cut that. Just cut it.
Yeah. No, I wanna watch the first one again just because I cannot remember for the life of me, the storyline of the very first one, so it's gonna be an Avatar marathon
Just watch
this
Fern
weekend.
Gully. It's the same story.
Oh, okay, see, there you go. And you just saved me some time, so
Yeah.
so A Avatar is coming out, and then also Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse, is definitely still continuing to receive just amazing praise from a lot of people. I did see something that apparently they re-released it back into theaters. There was some sound editing issues that they had to recorrect. Uh, I guess there was some people had said that there were some parts, but they fixed them, and I guess now you can go watch it again. I'm wondering if this isn't just a sales ploy to be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you guys think we made a mistake? Go watch it again then," and
It's
cha-ching,
so
they
much
cash it.
better now. Go check it
Yeah, like,
out.
"We fixed it. Yay." There was that one part, where Spider-Man shot his web and you guys said it was off. "Yeah, go
Instead
see
of
if we
thwip,
fixed
he
it."
said thwap. So we changed
Yeah.
that.
No, go check it out now, and then yeah, but it's amazing, man. It's surprising to see that the, cartoon has, now inserted itself as a potential movie of the year for 2023.
Yeah, it needs to go to streaming so I can see it because I'm
That
still
does
boycotting the theaters.
and I know, and, after talking about Chinese food, I probably won't be going to a theater for a couple for a
You're
while because
marked.
I know, they were like, "Hey, so who are you coming to the movie theater with,
Yeah.
okay?"
Alan
So
Theaters has
yeah,
your picture posted everywhere. Check
yeah,
this
it's like,
man's
hey,
bags.
I was like, he's got Panda Express with him, so don't take him. Don't let him.
You know, one of those Pizza Hut delivery things you're just walking in with. No, man, this is not food.
It's like, hey, I need this to survive. Well, we all need it to survive. Go to the concession
Yeah,
stand
it's
like
got my
everybody else.
insulin in it. I got to take it in.
The deep dish pizza.
It's my emotional support pizza.
Hey, those things can happen, right? Why can't they?
I see no reason.
Exactly. So it's like I'm gonna take my emotional support pizza with me. Oh man. If they want to stay up to date with you, you guys got a lot going on from Alamogordo to Las Cruces Comic Con to recaps of Anime El Paso. How can they stay up to date with you on the socials?
We're all over the interwebs, man. We got the Meta, the Insta, the YouTube, the Twitter, and the TikTok.
That's right. And of course, myself, you can follow me on Instagram, Joey on the FM there, as well as TikTok, Hot 103's Big Show on Facebook. I'm trying to think. I think that's all we have. Yeah, I
That's
think
enough.
that's it. That's enough. I don't know. I haven't been on Twitter in years. I know I have an account there. I just think the last thing I tweeted out was hooray. I graduated college. That was a long time ago.
I got mine hooked into my Hootsuite, so it just automatically goes to Twitter. I don't actually
Oh,
read Twitter.
actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think that's how my Instagram set up. So,
It
but I
automatically posts over to it.
yeah, so I guess I've been posting, so didn't realize it. Guys, this has been another edition of Zia Comic Weekly. We'll see y'all next week.
Later, nerds.